Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today's reciters are Alka Mataji in Sanskrit and Amelia Mataji in English from Canto 3, Chapter 22, verses 12 to 27. Alka Mataji, when you're ready, please start with the invocation. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, text 12. उदत्तस्य हि कामस्य प्रतिवादो न शस्यते अपि निर्मुक्तसङ्गस्य कामरक्तस्य किं पुनः.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. To deny an offering that has come of itself is not commendable even for one absolutely free from all attachment, much less one addicted to sensual pleasure.
य उदतमनादृत्य किनाशमभियाचते क्षीयते तदस्य स्थितं मानसस्त्वज्ञातः हत.
One who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord, but later begs a boon from a miser, thus loses his widespread reputation, and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others.
अहं त्वा शृणवं विद्वं विवाहार्थसमुद्यतम् अतस्तवमुपकुर्वाणं प्रताप्रतै गृह्णामि.
Svayabhuva Manu continued, O wise man, I heard that you were prepared to marry. Please accept your hand, which is being offered to you by me, since you have not taken a vow of perpetual celibacy.
ऋषिरुवाच बाढमूढो दुकामोऽहं प्रतात च तवात्मजा आवयोरनुरूपो सावाद्यो वैवाहिको विधिः.
The great sage replied, Certainly I have a desire to marry, and your daughter has not yet married or given her word to anyone. Therefore, our marriage, according to the Vedic system, can take place.
कामसभूया नरदेवतेस्याः पुत्रया समान विधौ प्रतितः क एव ते तनयां नाद्रियेत् स्वयेव कान्त्या क्षिपतिमिव श्रियम्.
Let your daughter's desire for marriage, which is recognized in the Vedic scriptures, be fulfilled. Who would not accept your hand? She is so beautiful that by her bodily luster alone she excels the beauty of your ornaments.
यामहं यर्ष पृष्ठे क्वणदिशो दृशो मां विक्रीडतिं कन्दुकविलाक्षिम विश्वावसूर्यान् पतत्स्वां द्विमानां द्विलोक्य सम्मोह विमूढचते.
I have heard that Vishvavasu, the great Gandharva, his mind stupefied with infatuation, fell from his airplane after seeing your daughter playing with a ball on the roof of the palace, for she was indeed beautiful with her tinkling ankle bells and her eyes moving to and fro.
तां प्रार्थयन्ती ललनाललां मसेवित श्रीचरणैरदृष्टां वत्सां मनोरुच्चपद स्वरां को नानुमन्येत बुद्धमियाताम्.
What wise man would not welcome her, the very ornament of womanhood, the beloved daughter of Svayabhuva Manu and sister Utapanada? Those who have not worshipped the gracious feet of the goddess of fortune cannot even perceive her, yet she has come of her own accord to seek my hand.
अतो भजिष्ये समयेन साध्वीं यावेत्तेजो बिभ्रूयादात्मे मनो मे अतो धर्मान् पारं हंस्य मुख्यान् शुक्लप्रोक्तान् बहुमन्ये विहिंस्त्रान्.
Therefore I shall accept this chaste girl as my wife, on the condition that after she bears semen from my body, I shall accept the life of devotional service accepted by the most perfect human beings. That process was described by Lord Vishnu. It is free from envy.
यतो दिश्वमिदं विचित्रं संस्थायस्यते यत्र च तिष्ठते प्रजापतीनां पतिरेष मह्यं परं प्रमाणं भगवानन्तः.
The highest authority for me is the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom this wonderful creation emanates and in whom its sustenance and dissolution rest. He is the origin of all Prajapatis, the personalities meant to produce living entities in this world.
मैत्रेय उवाच स उग्रध्वनियदेवाभाषे आसीच्च तूष्णीमरविन्दानाभं धियो प्रगृह्यन् स्मितशोभितेन मुखेन चेतो लुलुभे देवहूत्याः.
Sri Maitreya said, O great warrior Vidura, the sage Kardama said this much only and then became silent, thinking of his worshipable Lord Vishnu, who has a lotus on his navel. As he silently smiled, his face captured the mind of Devahuti, who began to meditate upon the great sage.
सोनु ज्ञात्वा व्यवसितं महिष्या दुहितुं स्फुटं तस्मै गुणगाणाढ्याय ददौ तुल्यां प्रहर्षितः.
After having unmistakably known the decision of the queen, as well as that of Devahuti, the emperor most gladly gave his daughter to the sage, whose host of virtues was equalled by hers.
शतरूपा महाराज्ञी पारिभर्यान् महाधनान् दम्पत्यो पर्यद्वादापित्र्यां भूषावासः परिच्छदान्.
Empress Satarupa lovingly gave most valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, clothes, and household articles, in dowry to the bride and bridegroom.
व्रतां दुहितरं सम्राट सदृक्षाय गतव्यथः उपगुह्य च बाहुभ्या मौक्तकण्ठयो मन्थियातशः.
Thus relieved of his responsibility by handing over his daughter to a suitable man, Svayabhuva Manu, his mind, agitated by feelings of separation, embraced his affectionate daughter with both his arms.
अशक्नुवंस्तद्विरहं मुच्चं बाष्प कलामुहुम् आसीच्च दम्भवत्सेति नैत्रोदैर्दुहितुं शिखाः.
The emperor was unable to bear the separation of his daughter. Therefore, tears poured from his eyes again and again, drenching his daughter's head as he cried, "My dear mother, my dear daughter."
अमन्त्र्यातं मुनिवरम् अनुज्ञातः सह सनुगाः प्रतष्ठे रथम् आरुह्य सपर्याः स्वपुरं नृपः उभयोर्ऋषि कुल्याः सरस्वत्यः सुरो दशहो ऋषम् उपास्तात् संतानां पश्यान् आश्रम सम्पदाः.
After asking and obtaining the great sage's permission to leave, the monarch mounted his chariot with his wife and started for his capital, followed by his retinue. Along the way, he saw the prosperity of the tranquil seas, beautiful hermitages on both the charming banks of the Sarasvati, the river so agreeable to saintly persons.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for wonderful recitation. Try to share the screen. What are the verses today we are discussing? Is it 20 or 22?
20 to
3
22,
to
Mataji.
20. It's 20 to 22, right, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. I can hear you now. My volume was very low. Okay, fine. So please accept my humble obeisances, everyone. We'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to discuss Hari Katha in your association after a long time. So I offer my humble obeisances to all the devotees and seek your blessings so we can discuss these three wonderful verses of Canto 3, Chapter 22. So till now in this chapter, we know that what happens is Kardama Muni, he has performed devotional austerities for 10,000 years. And Lord Vishnu appears in front of him, and then Kardama Muni offers his prayers. And then Lord Vishnu predicts that you have prayed to me because with a desire to get a compatible wife. And you know why Kardama Muni prays like this? Because Brahma has instructed him to get married and to create population. So that is in turn the desire of Lord Vishnu himself. So to fulfill the desire of his guru and father, Kardama Muni has done this devotional austerities, and Lord Vishnu is very pleased with him. He comes, gives darshan, and says, he predicts that day after tomorrow, Swayambhuva Manu with his wife Shatrupa will come here with his daughter Devhuti. And so you can marry her. And so on the predicted date, Swayambhuva Manu, he comes to Kardama Muni, and Kardama Muni welcomes Swayambhuva Manu. Although Kardama Muni is Brahmana and Swayambhuva Manu is Kshatriya, he welcomes him very nicely with great respect, and he glorifies Swayambhuva Manu. And he also describes the duties of the Kshatriya. And he praises Swayambhuva Manu that how nicely he's fulfilling all his duties very sincerely. But then we can see that Swayambhuva Manu thanks Kardama Muni for enlightening him about the duties of a Kshatriya. So Manu does not take his words as a praise, but in turn he rather says he takes them as an ideal responsibility and duties. What are the ideal responsibility and duties? That's what you are telling me. So, and what are the qualities of a king? So thus he says that thank you for reminding me. And then he started glorifying the Brahmanas. Then in this chapter he says that Brahmanas emanated from the mouth of Brahma, and he created Brahmanas. Brahma created Brahmanas specifically for expanding the knowledge by propagating the Vedic knowledge. So, you know, preservation of Vedic knowledge, Shastric knowledge happens by propagation. By spreading the Shastric knowledge, we can preserve it from generation to generation. If it is passed on, then that's how propagation happens and the knowledge spreads. So the preservation of spiritual cultural wisdom happens by propagation, and it's Brahmana's duty to spread this knowledge. So finally he revealed the reason that why he had arrived, and then he said to Kardama Muni that I know you have a desire to get married to a suitable match, and you are looking for a compatible wife. So I have brought my daughter Devhuti, who is endowed with jewel-like qualities, and she is very beautiful. And I am sure she will be a wonderful wife to you, so you better accept her. So then Kardama Muni said yes, and he thinks who will not accept an offer when it comes on its own accord. So it is wisdom to accept the offer when it comes, especially when you are desiring it. So, and when it is a worthy offer. But he says, however, I have one condition. In previous verses, he says that I will marry Devhuti and I will stay with her only till she gives birth to some children. And after that, I will retire and dedicate the last part of my life totally exclusively in worship of Lord Krishna, Supreme Lord Krishna. So I would completely surrender to him as a sannyasi, as a renunciant. And he has made this plan of his retirement and renunciation even before he enters the grihasthashram or household life. And as we will see, as we have seen in this previous verse, that Swayambhuva Manu Shatrupa, they happily accept this condition, and even Devhuti, they are perfectly okay with it. So then we come to today's verse, which is verse 20. यतो भवद्विश्वम् इदं विचित्रं संस्थास्यते यत्र च वविष्ठते प्रजापतीनां पतिरेष मह्यं परं प्रमाणं भगवानन्तः. So the translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The highest authority for me is the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom this wonderful creation emanates, and in whom its substance and dissolution rest. He is the origin of all Prajapatis, the personalities meant to produce living entities in this world. Purport. Kardama Muni was ordered by his father Prajapati to produce children. In the beginning of creation, the Prajapatis were meant to produce the large population which was to reside in the planets of the gigantic universe. But Kardama Muni said that although his father was Prajapati, who desired him to produce children, actually his origin was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, because Vishnu is the origin of everything. He is the actual creator of this universe. He is the actual maintainer. And when everything is annihilated, it rests in him only. That is the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. For creation, maintenance, and annihilation, there are the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, Shiva. But Brahma and Maheshwara are qualitative expansions of Vishnu. Vishnu is the central figure. Therefore, he takes charge of maintenance. No one can maintain the whole creation but him. There are innumerable entities and they have innumerable demands. No one but Vishnu can fulfill the innumerable demands of all the innumerable living entities. Brahma is ordered to create and Shiva is ordered to annihilate. The middle function, maintenance, is taken charge of by Vishnu. Kardama Muni knew very well by his power in progressive spiritual life that Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, was his worshipable deity. Whatever Vishnu desired was his duty and nothing else. He was not prepared to beget a number of children. He would beget only one child who would help the mission of Vishnu. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, whenever there is a discrepancy in the discharge of religious principles, the Lord descends to the surface of the earth to protect religious principles and to annihilate the miscreants. So we know the Bhagavad Gita verse, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Srila Prabhupada explains here is that the primary reason the Lord descends to this earth is to protect religious principles, his devotees, and then secondary purpose is to annihilate the miscreants. So Lord comes from time to time. When Lord comes, it's the right time. And in this purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that it is Lord Vishnu who is the creator, the master, controller of everything. And he is the Gunavatar in charge of the mode of goodness. And as we know, then Brahma creates. And for creation, mode of passion is in use. So he is in charge of mode of passion. And the destruction happens by Lord Shiva, which happens under the mode of goodness. So creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Creation by Lord Vishnu, maintenance by Lord Brahma, and annihilation happens by Lord Shiva. So these are the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Sorry, creation by Brahma, maintenance by Lord Vishnu, because to maintain anything, you need to be in the mode of goodness. Even we know that to maintain our own health, our own house, our spiritual life, we need to remain in the mode of goodness. To be able to do that, for creation, mode of passion is required, and to annihilate it is mode of ignorance, tamoguna, which is under the, control of Lord Shiva. So these are the qualitative expansions of Lord Vishnu himself. And Vishnu is the central figure because it is Lord Vishnu who is from whom emanates Brahma and Lord Shiva. Therefore, he takes charge of maintenance. No one can maintain the whole creation but Lord Vishnu. And we know there are innumerable entities and they have innumerable demands, but Vishnu can fulfill innumerable demands of all the innumerable living entities. Brahma is ordered to create and Shiva is ordered to annihilate. Marrying and begetting a child is considered to liquidate one's debts to the family in which one is born. There are many debts which are imposed upon a child just after his birth. There are debts to the family in which one is born, debts to the demigods, debts to the pitas, debts to the rishis, etc. But if someone engages only in the service of the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, who is actually worshipable, then even without trying to liquidate other debts, one becomes free from all obligations. Kardama Muni preferred to devote his life as a servant of the Lord in Paramhamsa knowledge and to beget a child only for that purpose, not to beget numberless children to fill up the vacancies in the universe. So Kardama Muni is very focused and he has this purpose he preferred to devote his life. He wants to be just the servant of the Lord and he wants to just beget a child only for that purpose. What is the purpose? Is to that even that child devotes the life to the Lord. And he wants to do that as a service to the Lord to beget a child and not have so many children just to fill up the vacancies in the universe. So not just to populate this universe, keep on having so many children, but with a purpose, beget a child who would also devote his life as a servant of the Lord in Paramhamsa knowledge. And here Srila Prabhupada says that one has so many debts to the family, to demigods, to pitrus, to rishis, but if one takes to the process of bhakti, engages in the service of the Supreme Lord, who is worthy of worship, then even without trying to liquidate other debts, he becomes free from all obligations. Means he has taken to the path of bhakti exclusively, then he has already cleared all these debts by surrendering completely to Lord Krishna. And I remember this, and I've also heard, I have myself heard from, Shruti Dharma Prabhu, our temple president at Bhaktivedant Manor, before he used to say this, I've heard live in his class and also from other senior devotees. He used to often say, give this one life to Krishna. Dedicate this one life to Krishna, give it to Krishna. And this is what he meant, that if you do that, then all these debts are automatically fulfilled by surrendering, by giving this one life to the service of Krishna. Wherever you are, in whichever ashrama you are, varna you are, dedicate your life to Krishna. He didn't mean that come and stay in our ashram. What he meant is that wherever you are, dedicate and serve Lord Krishna. And there are so many services at Manor, at other temples where we can serve Krishna exclusively, focusing, trying our best as ahaitukiya pratihata bhakti, causeless and seamless bhakti to Krishna. That's what Shrutideva Prabhu meant is, give this one life to Krishna. So I very much like that, what he said, and it's nice to imbibe that mood. Then in verse number 21, Maitreya Uvacha, 3:20 to 21. उग्र धन्वन इयद इवा बभासे आसीत् चतुष्णीम् अरविन्दनाभम् धियोपग्रनन् स्मितशोभितेन मुखेन चेतो लुलुबे देवहूत्यः. Sri Maitreya said, O great warrior Vidura, the sage Kardama said this much only and then became silent, thinking of his worshipable Lord Vishnu, who has a lotus in his navel. As he silently smiled, his face captured the mind of Devahuti, who began to meditate upon the great sage. Purport. It appears that Kardama Muni was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness because as soon as he became silent, he at once began to think of Lord Vishnu. That is the way of Krishna consciousness. Pure devotees are so absorbed in thought of Krishna that they have no other engagement. Although they may seem to think or act otherwise, they are always thinking of Krishna. The smile of such a Krishna conscious person is so attractive that simply by smiling he wins so many admirers, disciples, and followers. This is such a only few lines of purport, but it has got such a deep meaning, and for us to contemplate on the word absorb. Kardama Muni just spoke this earlier verses that what is his plan, what he would do, and he would retire after children are born. And he spoke about Lord Vishnu's supreme position and how it would be his desire to have a devotee children, and his purpose is as a Paramhansa knowledgeable person's purpose would be to serve, that would be the service to the Lord. And then after speaking that much, he becomes silent and he is absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So here we can see the absorption in silence. Kardama Muni is totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And we can see that here Kardama Muni is a devotee. He only speaks when it is necessary to speak. And he speaks about Krishna when he speaks. And he speaks what is worthwhile. Now, from this, there is so much to learn. For example, I was reading today Prahlad Maharaj prayers, and in there are qualities of Prahlad. And if you look up verse 7.4, 31 to 32, qualities of Prahlad Maharaj are also mentioned that Brahmanya Shila Sampannaha Satya Sandho Jitendriyaha. He has full control of his mind and senses. Who can be silent in absorption of Krishna? One who has full control of mind and senses. One who is determined to understand the absolute truth and he is true to his promise. And he has good thoughts, he does good actions, and his words are also good. They are Krishna conscious. And such are the qualities and qualifications of a Brahmana, because he is devoted to spiritual knowledge and he is endowed with good character. Shila Sampannaha, his character is very good, his actions, his words, and his thoughts are very good. And he is not a fault finder. He is not looking bad qualities of other people. He is not judging others. He is not labeling others. Because we know Atmavat Manyate Jagat. What it means is that whatever is our views, that's how we perceive the world. We see others are like that, or they are like this, or this is what they mean when they speak, or how we perceive them is reflection of our own consciousness. So here what we are trying to say is that Prahlad Maharaj character is such that he would never find faults in others, because he himself is so absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Like here Kardama Muni we can see. And speech is silver, silence is golden. Many times, so many things can be solved just by silence, keeping silence. And if we are true, the truth will come out anyway. If you are true to Krishna, if you depend on Krishna, at that time, if you are keeping silence, then even the truth will come out because you have depended and surrendered to Krishna. Krishna will do the needful. So there are so many examples like this in Srimad Bhagavatam. So on this, the silence and absorption in Krishna consciousness, I thought it would be very nice to see some examples of absorption, how devotees are absorbed. So I will see what I have on the screen, that I had 10, 10, 38. Okay, we can discuss this verse first. Can you see now on the screen, has it changed to 10, 10, 38?
Yes, Mataji. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Okay, thank you. So this verse is also one of my favorites. That's why I put it here, and somehow maybe it is connected. Vani gunanukathane shravanau kathayam hastau cha karmasu manastava padayornaha smrutyam shirastava nivasa jagat praname drishti satam darshanestu bhavattanunam. Hence, forward, may all our words describe your pastimes. May our words describe Krishna's pastimes. May our ears engage in oral reception of Krishna's glories. May our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you. And may our minds always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms. And may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are non-different from you. Now we can see here the translation of this verse. If someone has this consciousness, they would not have any problems in the world with anything or anyone that is happening around them. And this is how devotees are. Even in Mukundmala Stotra by King Kulshekhar Alwar, there is one verse I very much like, and I will try to bring it up. If I cannot remember, I can't remember the number, but it starts with Jihve Kirtaya Keshavam. Yeah, it is number 20. जिह्वे कीर्तय केशवं मुररिपुं चेतो भज श्रीधरम् पाणिद्वन्द्वसमर्चयाच्युतकथा श्रोत्रद्वय त्वं शृणु कृष्णं लोकय लोचनद्वयहरेर्गच्छाङ्घ्रियुग्मालयम् जिघ्रघ्राणमुकुन्दपादतुलसीम् मूर्धन्यमातोक्षजम्. So here he is saying that how we can use the senses, the indriyas of our body in the service of Krishna. The King Kulshekhar says, what should the tongue do? The tongue should praise the glories of Lord Keshav. The mind should worship the enemy of Mura. Hands serve the Lord of Shri. O ears hear the topics of Lord Achyuta. O eyes gaze upon Shri Krishna. O feet go to the temple of Lord Hari. O nose smell the tulsi birds on Lord Mukunda's feet. O head bow down to Lord Adokshaja. So all these senses are given to us, the power to speak, our hands, our legs, our head, nose. It's all given to us by Krishna. If we use it in Krishna's service, then they are chaste. Otherwise, they are not chaste. Let's use it in Krishna's service because it is given to us by Krishna. Then we can also see that other Bhagavatam characters who have given their, they are totally absorbed. So we can see Uddhava's absorption in ecstasy. When Maitreya comes to Uddhava, he asks him to describe about Krishna's glories and pastimes. And when Uddhava just hears about Krishna, he is totally in this ecstasy and he cannot speak for one full muhurta because he is so absorbed. He is absorbed and he has ecstatic symptoms. He becomes silent for 48 minutes and his devotional ecstasy just appeared to be increasing as he became submerged in the sweetness of Krishna's lotus feet in separation, because by this time Krishna had parted from him and Uddhava was in separation. And when Maitreya, not Maitreya, I mean Vidura reminds him about Krishna, he is just totally absorbed. And then he comes back soon comes back to the human plane from his ecstasy. And here is this shloka. The great devotee Uddhava soon came that of Devi. The emperor most gladly gave his daughter to the sage, whose host of virtues was equaled by hers. So there is no purport here, and Srila Prabhupada says that the emperor Swayambhuva Manu, Shatrupa and Devhuti, all three of them agreed to the condition of they were completely fine with what Kardama Muni says. And so then Manu gladly gives his daughter to the sage, who is himself filled with virtues which are equaled by his own daughter Devhuti, who is got virtues like jewel-like virtues herself. So that's how these three verses we conclude here. Thank you so much. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. So it's 8:30. We'll conclude here. Any comments or correction from any of you? And you'd like to add something, your realizations, then please go ahead. Would be nice to hear from you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you for that excellent class. It was wonderful explanation. My reflection is the constant wandering of the mind to sense objects and how difficult it is to control it and bring back to Krishna consciousness. And what you stated there at the end was when you're chanting, if your mind is wandering, bring your mind back. So I mean that it was quite important for me because I do find my attention wanders all the time. So that yeah, and it's just so difficult to control the mind. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I didn't get your name. It just says
Patti Mataji.
Okay, Patti Mataji, thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. I also struggle in this, bringing the mind back, especially during chanting, this happens. But the verse we were just discussing now, Mana Samharanam Chaham. So there, what it is saying is that withdraw the mind, and that is the biggest problem. But what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is that yes, when Arjun said that mind is so difficult to control, even wind, it's possible to control the wind, but not the mind. So Krishna says, yes, undoubtedly that is true, but it's not impossible. And he gives two things to do to control the mind. So first thing he says, practice, abhyasa. Practice to bring the mind back whenever it wanders while doing japa, and then focus on the japa. So how we will know it is wandering? If we are attentive to the mind's thoughts, then we know, okay, now it is wandering, so bring it back. And second is vairagya. So detachment from the object of distraction, which are our thoughts, our desires, and our attachments, which doesn't help us to concentrate on holy name. So this way, by practice and detachment, we can try. But thank you so much for your realization, Mataji.
Thank you,
This
Mataji.
is
Hare
a
Krishna.
constant struggle to focus. But if we sincerely try, then Krishna will definitely help.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Patti Mataji. Any other comments or realization?
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I quickly ask one question, please?
Okay.
While we are chanting, can we also think of any pastimes of the Lord, just so that we, rather than getting our mind distracted elsewhere, at least then we are thinking of a pastime or something?
The pastime that you have heard
Yes.
from Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Mataji, why not? We can do that. It is better than thinking other mundane or material thoughts. We can do that definitely if you have any favorite pastime. But at the same time, it's also recommended to actually try and hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These syllables. First, just try with that. And then, yes, better than any other material mundane thoughts, pastimes. Yes, definitely. I once went to a Japa retreat of His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, and there I saw many devotees who had come. We were chanting very early morning in Brahma Muhurta in this hall with Maharaj presence there. And there were many devotees from Russia and other countries. Their devotion was another level, and they were so inspiring to me. I saw them that they had pictures of their deities in front of them. And like how you are mentioning pastimes, they were just looking at Radha Krishna deities from their temple or their favorite deities. And they were just looking at the deities and chanting. Completely, the picture was in front of them, A4 or smaller than that, a picture. And they were just chanting, looking at that picture. So I thought that is also another nice way, apart from pastimes, to also look at the picture and take darshan and then chant. Like at home, normally we sit in front of the altar and chant because our deities are there. But if you are traveling, you carry the picture and do that. So, and along with that, pastimes, yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much, and thank you again so much for the wonderful class. Thank you.
I am grateful I got a chance to associate today and discuss Krishna Katha also, because otherwise I would have done something else. But today from afternoon I was reading these verses, so it's all for my purification. It was good that I did some Hari Katha reading and then discussing with you. Any other comments or correction from seniors? You can correct. And yeah, okay. So if there is nothing, we can also conclude early. Everybody will have more time then to do other things. So we can conclude. Vanchakalpatarubhyashta
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Anand Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai.
Jai
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for the
Thank you so
wonderful
much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for that association. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for this beautiful class today.